Welcome to the Ironverse. My name is Hugo, and I'll be showing you the latest updates today. So we'll go ahead and log in. All right. So the controls have been improved, and it's going to feel a lot more intuitive now controlling the character. You may notice right away in the corners of the screen, top left and the bottom corners, there are numbers. These are just, I guess, temporary placeholder UIs that I've put there so that you can visualize the state of your character. This will make sense once I explain the controls. So first, let me go back to the menu, and I just wanted to show you as well. Under controls here, I've written, you can't change the controls just yet, but you can see what they are, at least for now, with the keyboard and mouse controls on the left, and the controller controls on the right. I've only tested the controller controls on a PS3 controller, because that's what I had here. So if anyone's able to test on a different controller, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll have to, well, either way, I'll have to test on other controllers later on when I'm able to get my hands on some. So movement is the left stick, or WASD. Look is the right stick, or the mouse. It's pretty standard. Jumping is space, or A on a controller. In the case of a PS3, it's the X button. Change camera mode. On the PC, it's the letter C. So there's three different camera modes. You have first person, third person, and a top down. I'll show them to you in a minute. And quick select left, use right. What that is so you're able to have two kind of general abilities equipped, and you're able to quickly change them using the quick select and the quick select for left and right. So you have a left ability and a right ability. You can have up to 3 in the quick select, so that allows you to quickly change between abilities while in combat and stuff like that. So basically up to 6 abilities at a time that are very quickly accessible. And these abilities are not necessarily just combats, they could be anything really. That includes terrain editing. So yeah, it's that's how that works. And then the game menu is tab instead of escape now. I felt it was easier to press tab than escape from the from the keyboard when you have your fingers on WASD. So that works out. And later on, these will be you'll be able to change your key bindings. So there's that as well. All right, so let's go ahead and show these controls. All right, so WASD, I'm moving. Camera, this is the third person view. Let's see. Okay, so the top left is the camera view. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the other ones. So I just press C, now I'm in first person view. So just like a typical first person, you move around, you look. And the next view is a top-down view. So you can see a little bit more around you this way. Not so convenient for let's say terrain editing. So that's why you have the other modes. Yeah. So those are the different camera modes. And I don't know if you noticed while I was changing, but if you look at the top of the screen, see it changes between 1 and 3 Roman numerals. So as I mentioned earlier, that's in the top left of the corner of the screen. That's just temporary. It's just so that we can see, how we can see that we're changing the, the the camera mode, other than being able to see the camera itself changing. But yeah. So the same idea for the bottom two corners. So I'll press Q to cycle through my quick abilities for the left, and the left is the left mouse button, by the way. So if I click left mouse button, I'll go to delete blocks of terrain. So because I have the deletion equipped, so if I press Q, now I'm placing terrain, and you see that at the bottom left, the indicator changed to a 2. And then if I press again, I'm 3, and now I'm placing buildings now. So obviously, later on this will be replaced by, images, or just something much more visually interesting. But for now, it serves to prove that the state is changing correctly, and it helps for testing and debugging. And the right side, same idea. So you see a 4 right now. If I press E, 5, 6, press E again, I go back to 4. So why not 1, 2, 3? It's because on the keyboard you can press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can change them with the numbers as well if you didn't want to cycle through. With the controller, you have to cycle through, though obviously there's no numbers on there. Yeah, so there's no abilities on the equipped on the right on the right now. So if I right click, nothing happens. But you'll be able to later on equip different abilities and or actions, I guess I should call them, into either side, however you want. So you could potentially have the deletion on the left side and the placement of tiles on the right side at the same time. So you could probably like left click to destroy stuff and right click to place blocks without even having to change them. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so this works on controller as well, as I mentioned earlier. So I can control it in the same way that I just did with the keyboard. And yeah, you can do everything the same. Yeah, I feel like the controls are a lot more intuitive now. The what I did on I think Saturday, I believe. Yeah, it was definitely less intuitive. So I like the new version now. Plus, you have the 3 different camera modes, which are useful in different situations. Like underground is more probably more interesting to be in first person if you're in narrow spaces, or even the third person one might be good too. Um, and the top down is maybe really kind of optional. I guess it's not really that necessary, but it's nice to have. And you know, if you were on some limited device or a controller that had maybe only one joystick or something like that, you could still move around. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to do everything like place blocks. That would be kind of difficult without having a second joystick. So yeah, I guess it acts a little bit like a mini map as well. So ideally, maybe you'd want it to be zoomed out more. So we'll see. Definitely improvements that can be made to all these modes. Really, same thing with the third person. It's very centered right now. Um, that could be made, more fancy. All right. So those are the latest updates. Let me know what you think. If you have any ideas or suggestions, that would be great. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, join my Discord, and I'll see you next time.